Squish, squish, Valverde.
Did you really think we were gone?
No. This is Geoff. Now go back to playing good music.
Sorry, Hawk. Looks like someone's squirting back the rock. Scotty? 98.6, The Squirt.
Hey, Scotty.
What are we doing here? What is it? You can't... Why?
Big ad buy.
From the Squirt.
How big?
Oh, boy.
Okay, well I
that's
mean...
That's pretty darn big.
I'm not going to say anything...
I'm not going to lie. I thought
big.
legally you couldn't buy that much airtime on another rival radio station.
Right.
Isn't there like a legality there? I mean, can we talk to lawyers about this one? Or
I think we might have to call lawyers on this. Or best in the business lawyers.
Now, best in the business isn't going to handle this. They don't. This is not. This is not
lawyers. I think
this is lawyers.
There's a part of me, Geoff, where I'm like, okay, big ad buy. That's money. That's great for 108.9 The Hawk. There's another part of me
BAB.
that's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I hear you.
What is that? Who gave permission? Also, they're back. 98.6 The Squirt, our biggest rival fucking ever.
They're back in the game. They're stepping up to the plate. They're throwing down the cashish and getting in on our airtime.
Are you saying, was that cashish just like a mix of hashish and cashish?
Yes, of course. Classic cashish.
Okay.
Once you get over a certain level of money, it's cashish.
That did calm me down a
Thank
little
you.
bit.
I mean, that's the power of cashish.
That calmed me down.
It calmed me down too, Keg Stan. Oh, he's smoking cashish, literally.
Don't need any details on why he was so revved up over there. Horn dog, Keg Stand, our dirtbag sidekick in the corner. Yeah, well, I mean, we were listening to Jump by Van Halen, and then automatically you get Squish Squish and a personal message. Let's hear that again, Scotty. I need to take it all in.
Squish, squish, Valverde.
Did you really think we were gone?
No. This is Geoff. Now go back to playing good music.
Sorry, Hawk. Looks like someone's squirting back the rock. 98.6, The Squirt.
It's hip. It's everything that maybe we're not. But, I mean, will it matter? That's what it comes down to. Geoff the Angry Man Garlock, my partner in crime, mornings on 108.9 The Hawk, number one rock station in Valverde. Still
number one.
Squirt.
Still
number one.
No matter even if they're name-checking us, too. Wisp Turlington,
Yeah, that's a little...
my fellow...
Oh, my God. What do I do, Geoff?
I mean, this is what...
What do I do?
I'm saying you gotta lawyer up with lawyers. You gotta lawyer up with best in the biz if they'll do it. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Whiffs, to say this. What you really would have to do is turn down the money from the ad buy. I know. We're having fun here still.
Are you effing kidding me? That would never happen. That would be the great. That's what they can spend all the money.
I mean, they're literally dumping money into the studio right now with a dump truck.
Beep, back the truck.
I mean, half of it's Squirt coin. I'll say that. Half of it is their own Bitcoin called Squirt.
But I don't do that. I am a huge Lep coin, the Def Leppard Bitcoin. That's the only Bitcoin I do support. But hey, keep on doing it, Squirt. See, Geoff, there's a part of me where I'm like, money. I'm okay. I'm a nice guy.
Of course.
But then there's the other part of me that's like,
oh boy. I think you all know what that part is, right?
Time reconciling the two. Yeah. Like, in me is the beast.
Sure.
And I try not to be the beast anymore. I try to be your favorite radio announcer every morning right here on 108.9 The Hawk, number one. I mean, we're the number one morning show.
This is a simple fact. We're just the number one morning show.
We're the number one morning show. We are the number one rock station in Valverde. We're also the number one fucking radio station in Valverde.
But that's the problem, Wisp. You still have on your shoulders, much like a Looney Tunes cartoon.
It's just like a Looney Tunes
devil
cartoon.
And an angel. But for you, it's money and some drones. But the money... And I don't actually know if the money is the devil or the angel.
Let's do it. Let's break it down. Okay, this is me. money.
Money. What's up, Doc?
drones.
Oh my God! Then you're the Tasmanian devil. You're just like,
Which one is it gonna be? Play my favorite song. Mate, cheer me up, Scotty. That's right. That's Genesis, illegal alien.
You can't stay angry.
This is a good thing.
You can't stay angry
when you hear something as stupid as Genesis's illegal alien. Hit it again, Scotty. Oh my God, we are having one hell of a time here on 108.9.
What a song for the times,
Hawk.
too. I mean, it's just
what a song for the times. Do you think the ice guys are driving around in their stinky vans?
Oh my God.
With that cranking, just like, play it again. And someone's like, no, I want to hear Misunderstanding. And he's like, shut up. We're playing illegal. I
can almost guarantee you, if you drive up to that McDonald's ice, where they've combined the McDonald's and the ice.
McIce.
The McIce. And you open up that drive-through window, you're going to be hearing illegal alien.
Yep, you are. It's just muffled.
And on the other end, the people pulling up to the McDonald's, I was like, I just wanted some McDonald's.
I just wanted
a Big Mac.
Could I get an apple pie and maybe not bothered for my heritage?
And maybe I'm sitting here wondering why anyone would sign up to be an ICE agent in the first place. But you know.
And at McIce, remember, they just suck you through the window.
They just suck you in.
They just they reach over and just, oh
my God.
Like a Dementor.
They suck you. They suck you in like Nancy Langenkamp's mother at the end of Nightmare on Elm Street.
Whoa, there we go. That's why we're number one.
That's
folks.
why you're number one.
We are
the
number one morning show because we're hitting Nancy
Langenkamp. All right,
babe. We're hitting those types of references for all of you right here.
It's got Johnny Depp in it, and it because Johnny Depp is in it. It applies to classic rock.
My favorite part of Nightmare on Elm Street is when Johnny Depp's being sucked into the bed, but he's like, just slide guitar in
and then when he gets sucked into that bed, and then all of these scarves come flying out like a pillar of scarves. You know, they had to turn the room upside down. They had to turn the room upside down to make the scarves come out that way.
And then he gets down into Freddy's boiler room, and Freddy's like, I want to hear some slide guitar, bitch.
Because you can't turn down a bitch.
You can't do it. You can't do it. When Freddy Krueger gives you a demand followed by bitch, you better be doing it. You better be doing it.
The ultimate stand-up comedian in the 80s, Freddy Krueger, he knew that you needed to accentuate every joke with the word bitch.
Hey, speaking of comedy, guys, I do have to tell you, last night I had a hell of a time out at the grand opening of Valverde Exposure. Now, that is Valverde's newest female entertainment club. It's a strip club, but they call it a female entertainment club where females aren't really entertained, but the men are entertained. I got to tell you, Geoff, you like steak?
Oh, I love steak.
Best steak I've ever had.
Oh, my God.
And they're like, look, we found a lobster. I'm like, where'd you find the lobster? And they just went, I don't know.
It's a don't ask policy at Valverde Exposure.
Big don't ask. That's their slogan. It's a don't ask policy at Valverde Exposure.
Versus Sebastian's Playground, where if you ask, they'll tell you where all that food comes from. And you don't want the answer, trust me.
Don't need those answers. But also, it was amateur night, so of course, a lot of great Valverde women trying their stuff out on the stage. And surprisingly, so much stand-up comedy, Geoff.
Oh, my God.
Dane Cook did a set, hilarious. Now, when it comes to comedy, Dane is number one for me.
Numero uno.
Dane Cook.
Dano Cooko.
Dano Cooko. If you want to laugh, Dane Cook is there, and he's just like spoon-feeding it to you. Also, Zane from Fister did an acoustic set while all the women danced. It was a hell of a night. Just wanted to thank Valverde Exposure. Their
probably wasn't a dry eye in the house when Zane was playing.
Oh, my God. Zane did Valverde Bay Cruise Disaster 8 times.
My God. Every time a new customer walked in, he'd start it over again, I bet.
Have you ever pole danced to Valverde Bay Cruise Disaster, Geoff?
I mean, only twice.
Okay, so you know.
I get it.
You know. Hell of a night. Want to thank my friends Nick Nolte, Jeff Lynn, Natasha Leone, and Mark Paul Gossler for joining me. And also want to thank the fine folks at Valverde Exposure, where their slogan is Valverde Exposure. Valverde Hospitality with a twist.
Wow.
Oh my God.
That's it.
My God. Hey, no. Stop right now. You two stop it. Get off those mics. Get off the mics.
Who is it?
Scotty,
Back your heads away from the mics.
Scotty, who has wandered into the studio?
Back your heads away from them. Stop it right now.
Wait, we can't back away from the mics.
You back away from the mic.
Who are you?
Get on a mic. These are our mics.
Good sir.
How dare
just
you?
happened to be wandering by. I was down the hallway. I was working with the guys from traffic and weather on just some simple VO stuff. And I am a VO consultant. I make a lot of money doing this stuff, guys, okay? And everything you're doing right now, yeah. Do you know who I am?
No,
I'm just trying to see how much bullshit I'm smelling in the air right now.
I'm smelling quite a bit.
I'm sorry.
Whoa.
I'm sorry. What?
Whoa.
My name is
let Big Truck's dog in, huh?
My name is Excuse me.
What's your name? Trisket?
My name is Triscopher Smith.
Triscopher Smith.
Yeah.
What, were your parents just like drinking some wild Irish rose, eating Triscuits, and they're like, I think I'm going to make a baby right now.
Whoa, Wisp. You need to give some respect. I've actually heard of Triscopher Smith.
Oh, you have?
He is the number one VO coach, and he's got the goods.
In the world, Geoff, or Valverde? In the world or Valverde?
Well, Valverde, Charlottesburg, and then Wyoming.
Well, that's actually impressive.
That's pretty good, right?
Yeah, I commute.
That's pretty good.
I go back and forth pretty much. I mean, one week in Wyoming, 1 week Valverde. Charlottesburg, sort of, when I can get around to it.
Aren't we all just like Charlottesburg when we can?
That's basically Charlottesburg's motto. When we can. All right.
Could you read that? Could you say that again? Like a nice read, Geoff. Charlottesburg, when we can.
Charlottesburg,
3, 2,
when we can.
No, I was counting. Goddamn.
No,
oh my gosh.
What?
This is genuinely painful to me. These ad reads are like despicable. Like they are morally wrong.
Morally?
Okay. Everything
Trisket,
you're doing.
How long have you been doing this, Trisket? Because I have been doing it for 53 years.
And maybe that's the problem. You've sort of failed to keep up with the times because these things evolve,
Scotty,
radio is
the
not
problem?
Static. It's a medium that evolves and changes, just like the human voice changes, just like style changes, okay? And you guys are effectively, I might as well be in a museum here because I'm looking at dinosaurs. I'm looking at a Stegosaurus. And I'm looking at
you.
This is
That's
what
what
I
I'm
heard.
looking
This is what I heard about this guy. He is.
How does that read? Here we go. Fuck you.
Okay, well, if a time traveler showed up in front of the dinosaurs and said, hey, there's a comet up there that's headed to Earth and it's going to obliterate you all, but I have a laser here that I can shoot at it that will break it up and cause you not to go extinct, do you think the dinosaurs would say, fuck you, or would they say, thank you, sir? Fire that laser at the comet.
The dinosaurs didn't exist. So
they didn't exist at all?
Oh, right, yes.
No, there was never dinosaurs. I mean, come on, please.
Have you not been to the Valverde No Dinosaur Museum?
Have you visited the Valverde?
Oh, my God,
what did you think about it then?
What do I think about it? I haven't been there.
This is just personal.
You haven't?
I haven't been there. I don't think about it. I haven't been there. I'm too busy.
I thought he said, I have. Maybe your voice isn't clear enough, Trisket.
Maybe I'm just being talked over by some guys that are not putting any thought into what they're doing on the mics.
No, I'm liking this. Thank you for joining us,
Good.
Trisket.
I'm glad.
It is 6:18 on the Geoff and Whisp show, and our guest, Trisket. I didn't even pay attention
Smith.
for the last name.
Triscopher
Smith.
Save us in Trisket. Give him the proper respect. Triscopher.
Are you related to Captain Wheat-Thin Smith, who came over on Jamestown?
Is that a joke?
No.
No, he actually
really?
just asked every single guest that. Surprise.
I asked that, like, Skeet Ulrich
It
was
was
in
so
here, and I'm like,
indicated. It was so, like, you
Oh,
might
do
as
you
well have
think
been
I
wearing
was-
clown shoes going like, I'm making this joke. Here's what I want to do.
Choose. Okay.
Here's what I want to do. I'm offering you a lifeline here, all right?
It could be the opposite. We'll find out.
I have here, I just happen to have some text, and I want you to read. These are just like classic radio ads. They're just simple. And this is going to be what's called a cold read. All right, you're going to read this ad, and I just want to make sure that you can.
Oh, I've never heard the term cold read.
Never heard this
Well,
term.
because you haven't seen it before, and I understand that. I'm not expecting it to be, amazing. I'm not expecting it to be Harrison Ford for Jeep. I'm just expecting it to be.
Oh my God.
Speaking of Harrison Ford, I don't know if you know this, Trisket, but I read
Triscopher.
Potato, barbiturate. I read the trailer for Harrison Ford's Witness 2.
Oh my God.
You remember that movie?
You read the trailer?
I was the voice. For the trailer, and that movie was, everybody says, it was the best Oscar-winning film.
This is the one
time.
where he was going to start off as an Amish person.
Yep.
And then Kelly was going to come in. Kelly McGillis was going to VO just the layman coming in.
Kelly McGillis had to
How'd
hide.
that sound? Give us a little of that then. Favor us with the VO from Witness 2 that came out in 1990 on Laserdisc.
The kids are loving. The
91.
kids are loving Witness, by the way, on TikTok lately.
Yeah,
Don't
they
you
are.
be?
If you want to really get into it, it's Witness on TikTok.
Witness talk is crazy
Witness.
right now.
Here we go. I'm going to need a little music, Scotty. He's Amish now. He's the one calling the shots. The shots being building that barn and riding that buggy to Lancaster, Pennsylvania's biggest buffet, the Smorgasbord, where he runs into Kelly McGillis. But wait, she's a cop now? Wow, that's everything and more. Witness 2. Only in stores.
I love that era of trailers when the VO guy couldn't believe that was what was going on in the movie.
When he laughed in the middle, he's just like, are you fucking kidding me? This is
funny.
the movie? And then Best Picture, Trisket. Best Picture,
Triscopher, give him the respect.
We're reading it. I realized I had heard it before. I'd heard it in week 1 of voiceover consultant school, where our professor played it for us as an example of everything not to do.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's a burn.
You just got Triscopher.
Scotty, mark it down. That's a burn. We will revisit the burns.
Put it on the burn list. That one's the Triscopher burn.
So I'm going to show you this text here. Okay?
I'm warmed up. Jeff probably needs to warm up. I'm warm.
Oh, I know. I
warm.
feel real warm.
Are you?
Jeff
Give
can
me
read
a couple
it.
red leathers,
Wisp
please.
can read it.
Hold on, I got
Whatever.
it. Hold on.
Whoever
Can I warm up here a little first before I get these reads?
Sure.
Red
Little vocal
leather,
warm-ups, absolutely.
yellow
That's part of it.
leather.
Warm up the instrument.
He loves
Red
to touch his tits
leather,
when
yellow
he's warming
leather.
up. It's
Johnny
the weirdest
Depp
thing.
is the greatest slide guitarist. Red toy boat. I'm good to go, man.
Also, everybody knows, drink a carbonated drink before you do any voiceover. That's my
day
tip
one.
to you.
That's 101.
From 108.9 The Hawk.
That's like one of those old ads where they would say, like, 9 out of 10 doctors recommend,
That's
Virginia
true.
Slims.
9
That's
out of 10
horrible.
Dr.
God.
Jimmy's recommend drinking a seltzer before you do a voiceover. That is just a fact right there.
And have you had Virginia Slim Seltzer?
Oh my God, it's one of the best.
Yum.
It's
All
the best
the
hard
grandmas are
seltzer
drinking it.
lately.
The best hard seltzer. Hey, you think to yourself, what happened to Virginia Slims, the cigarette? My grandma died, so I haven't seen them in a while.
They're in
But
seltzer
now it's a
form.
seltzer?
The longest seltzer can you've ever seen.
Oh my God, it's so thin, so long.
It is.
You guys laugh, but nicotine-infused seltzer is a huge category right now. I would say
Really?
fully 40% of the ads I consult on are for nicotine-spiked seltzers.
Scotty, shift some of my stocks. That sounds great.
Got it.
I mean, that could be considered insider trading, but that hasn't stopped me before. Oh, we have fun. Give us your bullshit, Trisket.
Here it is. So this is just a simple. I just want you to give this. Don't even think about it. Just give this Just give this a read. Just give this a normal radio ad read.
All right, bullshit. Okay, me first or you first?
Whoever. It's up to you.
I didn't fucking ask. I asked Jeff. Me first or Jeff first?
I would say go with you first.
Okay, here we go. Any notes to start, Trisket? Like, what's the tone
Just
I'm
let the
going
text.
for
Just
here?
let the text speak to you. What is it? What does it
Okay.
seem like you should do? What do your instincts say? I want to get a read on your instincts.
Well, then you're going to find Whisp Turlington's instincts just laid out on a table for you. Here we go.
Oh my God, that noise means you're gonna get Wisp bare, butt naked to the world right there. Oh my God.
Okay, I'm taking off my microphone condom because I'm going to lay you down and voice you. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Listen up, malevolent metalheads. This Saturday at the Valverde Indoor Amphitheater, this fallen world's evilest bands will descend for 8 punishing hours of arcane, amplified chaos. It's Slatanica 2025, featuring Mausoleum Stench, Tools of Defilement, Yanked Entrails, Blood Maze, and all the way from the darkest forests of Norwegian black metal, it's Christ Puncher. Christ Puncher. See, I do the parts where they don't have to go in and fix it.
You gotta let the guy in post know this is where you do the weird
this is where
effect
you take me
thing.
low. This is where you take me low.
We have so far to go. We have so far to go.
Because it was very good?
Because it was so good?
No, we just have really far to go, but that's okay. No, it's okay. No, that was good. That was for me to get a read. You know, I'm really not trying to be judgmental. I know we started off on a weird foot.
Clearly. Weirdfoot. They should be playing this. One of my all-time favorite metal bands, Weirdfoot.
The offshoot of Little Feet, one of the best bands ever.
When they were just like, hey guys, what if we did some Norwegian black metal now? And the rest of the guys are like, well, I'm going to have to eat out of your skull for that to happen. Weirdfoot.
Great band.
Great band. Now your turn, Geoff.
My turn. Do I have anything to read? Or do you want me to do this again? You want me to get the Garlock?
I mean, you can here, or you can do. Well, here's the thing. First up for Wisp.
I'm putting my condom back on for protection.
Good call.
All right.
Thank you.
So here's my concern. My concern is that this is huge. You're just leaning into it. These reads are so
big.
Big, yeah. That's really big.
Magnanimous.
It's just like, it's you're just giving us so much. You're just indicating so much.
I shouldn't have had the Seltzer.
I'm wondering, can we do this again? Just smaller. Just
Me?
really throw it away.
Should I try it smaller?
Geoff, will you read this as me doing it smaller?
I'm going to do this as Wisp being small.
Thank you. That's what buddies do.
Whatever gets
hey,
you
do you need music? Do you need music for this one?
Oh my God! If I could get some wonderful death metal music.
Good God, Scotty! Stop giving me Seltzer.
Right.
Okay, music. 3, 2, 1.
I can smell the nicotine from here.
Hey, listen up, malevolent metalheads. This Saturday at the Valverde Indoor Amphitheater, this fallen world's evilest bands will descend for 8 punishing hours of arcane amplified chaos. It's Slatanica 2025, featuring Mausoleum Stench, Tools of Defilement, Yanked Entrails, Blood Maze, and all the way from the darkest forest of Norwegian black metal, it's Christ Puncher. Christ Puncher.
So this is actually really interesting to me.
Good,
this is actually really interesting because this is teaching me that I still have a lot to learn. What I thought I wanted from you was to do it smaller, just let the text do the work, not really indicate the whole like metal of it all, not really like lean into that. And instead what you chose to do, and granted it was you doing Wisp, doing the ad smaller.
Sure.
Was between the combination of the background music and the read, what it gave me was 1998 UPN comedy lineup commercial.
I mean, I think I nailed it then, because that's what I was going for there.
And I just don't know where you would ever get that from this.
That's what I look for as like going to the stars.
Yeah. Something with maybe like a show with maybe Bobcat Goldthwait as like a puppet in it. Maybe like a Dust Bunny starring.
Bobcat Goldthwait is a puppet. Jamie Gertz hates puppets. But when she's forced to live with him, because it's a halfway house, there's nothing you can do. UPN presents Halfway House.
Taylor Negron was great in that show.
Well, he died.
I know. He died on the show?
On the set of Halfway House.
Kind of takes the music really kind of buries.
I don't know why I laughed. It's like I'm reading the Witness 2 script again.
My God, what funny script, Witness 2.
Well, this guy's not going to fuck up his read. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Traffic.
108.9 The Hawk Traffic with Art Spart.
Smoke on the water. You're drying out your meat. And if you want to get your dry meat today, then you better watch out for the fender bender backing up traffic about 4 minutes on Les Claypool Avenue. We have a flipped car causing a traffic kerfuffle on Soundgarden Boulevard, and there is no available parking at the Tom Petty Memorial Park because, of course, today is Jerky-a-thon 2025. That's right. Valverde's celebration of all things dried meat, aka jerky. And I know what you all are thinking. Art, I don't think you actually use smoke to dehydrate meat. Well, maybe you should stop focusing on how I might have misinformed you through a Deep Purple song and start focusing on getting more jerky, because there is a lot of it, and it is running out fast. Over 100 vendors serving over 1,000 types of jerkies. If it's meat, it can be dehydrated, and ooh, baby, it is. From cow to pig, from elk to eel, anything that was alive is now dead and desiccated and covered in some pepper sauce. Take a poll off of any animal you can. Now here is the thing, Valverde. After Jerkython 2024, the people running Jerkython wanted me to pass on to you a reminder. Simply put, there is no human jerky available. None. Yes, of course, humans are animals. And yes, at one point there was a human jerky available. By that one guy none of us liked. Mean Steve. If you gave him the right signal, he would let you in on his secret stash. The most dangerous game, man jerked. And people always knew it was him because he would wear that shirt. John Woo's action spectacular Hard Target starring JCVD was based off of my life. I hunt people, end quote. Now that is still up for legal debate. John Woo swears that it was a public domain idea. And of course, JCVD says that he came up with it in a cocaine fever dream. No one can agree, but the one thing we could agree on, that human jerky was surprisingly delicious. But even though we all got the taste for long pig, no more. It ain't happening, people. No matter how much we want it. And no matter how many times we give a little no signal to Mean Steve. So try to enjoy some venison turkey, everyone. And try to get parking. And for the love of God, if you see Mean Steve coming after you with a crossbow, run! Man, that's been traffic from the 108.9 The Hawk, Bert's Funeral Flowers Traffic Desk. Spart.
With Bert's Funeral Flowers, with Bert's Funeral Flowers.
All right.
I mean, what do we think of that?
Okay.
I mean,
here's what I'll say, guys. Here's what I would want to see if I were ever back here. You know, and with any luck, I won't be. I'll be in Charlottesburg.
Yeah.
And that says how much I want to be back here. Wow. If I was ever back here, what I would want to see when Art is doing traffic and weather is the two of you with notebooks out taking notes. Because Art, honestly, it's great. It's so authentic. It's what people want. You know, like Gen Z, for example, they don't want to be sold to. They just
hey, Len, I'm a hog.
I'm still sanding better than I ever did. Sanding like a true survivor. Feel like a little kid. Don't you know I'm still sanding after all this time? Using a loud belt sander. Even if you want me to stop, I'm still sanding.
and I ain't gonna stop sanding. Hi, this is John Elton, owner of the I'm Still Sanding Warehouse, Valverde's only 24-hour-a-day sanding workshop. It was formerly known as John Elton Sanding Emporium, but you people started belly aching that I wouldn't stop sanding. Look, I'm not going to apologize that my sanding business is doing great. A lot of people need some woodwork done, and they need it sanded by hand or with belt sander. And if I have to do it 24 hours a day, I will do it. And now, I'm going to do it out of spite for you people. And I'm going to be blasting Elton John the entire time. And no matter what you say, I'm still sanding. And I ain't going to stop sanding. Look, the Rocket Man himself never needed to apologize for standing up, for writing the songs that he wanted to write, with Bernie writing the lyrics he wanted to write. And I ain't gonna apologize for having a great business. And sure, does that mean that sometimes there's gonna be very loud belt sanding happening all day and all night? Yeah, so put on some headphones and shut it. Cause here at the I'm Still Sanding Warehouse, we ain't ever stopping sanding. And that's our promise to you. We'll never stop sanding.
I like Sharnies because it's fast, it's dependable, and it really helps me lose weight when you factor in all the times it makes me BM.
Everybody at Charney's knows my name. I walk in, they say, John Wayne Gacy. Welcome. Here is your table, Mr. Gacy. Unfortunately, that is also my name. I had it first, I shouldn't have to change it.
Well, I like how they put American flags on everything on the buffet, because that reminds you that we're all Americans, and that even though we may not agree on anything, we probably agree on Charney's.
Yeah, I'm just here because of the stabbing murder at buffet number 53, and I'm a cop, so I have to deal with it.
And I'm here because I stabbed somebody at buffet 53.
They deserved it!
22 free at Charney's.
Classic rock never divorced me. 108.9, The Hawk. And I gotta tell you, I've been praying to my sweet Lord that we get this dude out of our studio sometime in the next hour. It's okay for him to be here on the 7 a.m. hour. Our guest canceled.
So
our guest, of course,
here's
Ed
what
Begley.
let's
Shut the
do.
fuck
Here's what
up.
let's
I
do.
am doing
Sorry?
my back announcement. Okay?
You
Thank
must give him a chance to speak. I'm just trying it. Sorry.
What was that?
I was
What
trying
that
to do
supposed
an
be? You were
art.
being
I was
art?
doing.
You were trying.
I'm trying to get in with this TikTok generation.
Don't be Art.
Turn on your
Don't be
mic.
Art,
Art,
be
turn
Geoff.
on your mic.
If Geoff,
So that was me, Geoff.
I hope you don't find it offensive, Art. I hope you didn't.
No, I find it very funny. It's always nice when a youngster tries to do my voice. And, when you put your own spin on it, you rubbed your own nasty on it, Geoff, and I do appreciate that whatsoever. Triscopher, good to see you again. Thank you for this morning's session.
Hey, Art, how are you?
Very good
It's already paying off.
session.
It's already paying dividends, right?
Oh, it is paying off. But
I didn't have to do much,
You didn't. Well,
You can't coach a river to ramble, It's just gonna
Oh, shut the fuck up.
Wow.
No.
Triscopher is just giving off wisdom left and right over here.
And I don't want you to, Geoff, for the record, I don't want you to be Art. I want you to be, if Geoff the Angry Man Garlock is who you are, I want you to be that with everything, because people can feel that, and that's what comes across. Okay?
I think I am. I think I am Geoff the Angry Man Garlock. I'm feeling confused about who I am anymore with all of your notes. I don't even know what's going on anymore.
Well, I know that I'm Art Spart, and I do know Triscopher, my apologies. If I could pay you in human jerky, I would. Now, back to my booth.
Buddy. I know you would, and I feel that, and I appreciate that.
So the generation now loves
I am doing Whole 30 right now,
God.
so I don't think I could have it, but I appreciate that.
Oh my God! Do we have to be doing Whole 30 to get good ad reads?
No, we don't. Geoff, we know what we're doing.
Here, let's try another one. You know what, guys? Let's just clear the slate. We're back. Clean slate.
Okay.
We're just blue sky and clearing the slate.
I am going to give you a little more. That first one was just to try to read, what are your instincts? Where are you at? This one I am going to give you a little more direction up top. Okay, so on this one, they just don't want it to be salesman-y. So much of this stuff is coming across salesman-y.
Okay,
and this one, just imagine you're just a cool, confident friend. You just want to let them know about this great thing you've discovered. You're like, imagine Vince Vaughn in his peak, or you're Ryan Reynolds. You're that friend.
Hey, what am I doing here?
So
exactly.
a lot of words. That doesn't really say a lot.
Really fast, and I say nothing.
Whatever it is, however you take that, that's fine. Just not salesman. Okay.
All right.
Not salesman.
All right.
Okay.
So Ryan Reynolds
I
is every first thought I have, no matter what they are. And your Vince Vaughn is that he burps into the microphone over and over.
What are we gonna do? We gotta get out. These people don't want us.
He does know that Vince Vaughn catchphrase. What am I gonna do? He does say that all the time.
Hey, what are we gonna do?
Hey, what are we gonna do? I love that part in Wedding Crashers.
4 Christmases.
Whoa, that was one Christmas. What are we gonna do?
2 Christmases.
What are we gonna do?
That was 2 Christmases. What are we gonna do? Okay, so let's do this.
I'll say this: if they wanted
best
real
script
Vince
ever
Vaughn,
written, by the way, 4 Christmases. Best
I wrote
script
that.
ever written.
I wrote that script.
Blake Snyder is creaming in his jeans in his grave over that. That's the best script he ever.
That was a little dirty for 6 a.m., Geoff.
Well, it's 7 now.
Well, then it was perfect for the 7 o'clock hour.
Thank you very much.
That was good. I like that. Hey, so Triscopher, I'm gonna do you a favor. Are you ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna pull in a ringer. I'm pulling in a ringer. Farmer Dan, please come in here and read this for me.
Oh my God! I gotta say, I got a little sneak preview of this next copy, and I think Farmer Dan's gonna be.
Hello, I'm
perfect
Farmer
for
Dan.
it.
I'm Farmer Dan. Who's this?
You're talking to Triscopher here. You gotta know.
Triscopher Smith.
Triscopher Smith, the premier.
Triscopher.
That's Farmer Dan for
out
you.
of holes. You remember that song? You remember it was in Emmanuel in Space?
Sing that for us again.
Triscopher, eating, and there was a bunch of the beds just going.
Oh my God! I gotta say, when Emmanuel finally went to space, that's when the franchise really took off.
Okay, so you want me to read this here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here we go. I'm Farmer Dan, by the way. If you need any.
Hi, Farmer Dan.
Dairy. Cheese.
Dairy. I really don't recommend that people eat dairy before they do.
Oh my God, we're shit out of luck.
Makes you really phlegmy. Makes you really phlegmy.
I was hearing you guys jawing on in here, and I was on the other side of that door, just jawing on a big old wheel of Havarti myself.
Oh my God!
So let's do this.
That's good.
I can see the Colby Jack oozing out of your pores, basically.
You buns whittle. They itchy. Then reach for Whittle Bear Buns Cream. Available in the Buns Cream Alley of your local pharmacy. Now that's Buns Relief.
Wow.
Again.
And scene.
I'm gonna... Wisp, Geoff, you're surrounded. Yeah. It's like you're in the Library of Alexandria. You're surrounded by all the wisdom of the ages when it comes to voice talent.
That never existed, by the way.
Farmer Dan, the Library of Alexandria?
Might as well be dinosaurs.
Should I go to the Museum of the Library of Alexandria? Didn't exist? Should I go there?
We do have that. That's right next to the door to the Museum of Dinosaurs. Didn't exist.
It is the best. I mean, if you want a food court,
my God,
beyond any museum food court or any sort of like Civil War battlefield food court, I highly recommend that museum.
And you got to check out the gift shop because there are no books.
You got to check out the gift shop. There's nothing in it.
There's a food court at a museum dedicated to something not existing, to proving a negative, essentially.
Oh my God, they got the best falafel.
Best falafel.
Best falafel.
You know what? I'll check it out. I'll check it out when I'm on my way to Wyoming.
So how'd I do?
Farmer Dan, you did amazing.
What part did you like?
Geoff,
did you like the part where I didn't say aisle and I said alley instead?
I mean, it seemed like you made it your own.
It felt real, exactly. Yeah.
I wanted to rub my own.
I felt like, this is where this guy's really from. He's adding some regional flavor.
Wow.
Maybe in wherever he's from, where they talk like this. Inside of a mine or something, that's what they call it. They don't call it the aisle, they call it the alley. It just felt colloquial, it felt real, it felt relatable, it felt specific, because the specific is ultimately universal.
I think I could do another swing on it here. Let me try
take another swing
again.
at it? Go ahead. And you know what? Here's what I'll say, Farmer Dan.
Yeah.
And this is not even really for you, because what you're doing, chef's kiss.
Is this a note
for
for us?
For Wisp and Geoff to see exactly.
So.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Okay. Just go huge with it, because if you go big with it, I can always pull you back. But if you are not doing enough, it's hard for me to draw more of that out of you. So.
Okay, let's go huge, Scotty. I'm going to need it.
I'm definitely excited to see Farmer Dan go huge.
Let's do it. I want the one that's huge. You know what I'm looking for. Scotty, fire away.
Are your buns whittle? Are they itchy? Then reach for Whittle Bear's Whittle Bear Buns Cream. Available in the Buns Cream aisle of your local pharmacy. Now that's buns weave.
What about that?
Wow. My God.
Here's what I loved about that.
Was that the cheese talking or was it the me's talking?
You should put that on a shirt, Farmer Dan.
No. Farmer Dan, what I loved about that was it was so clear. It just said, this is sort of a Boston guy or Harry Carey inside of a Ford F-150 commercial.
That's what I was definitely going inside Ford.
You know, I gotta say, I'm thinking actually it was kind of universal, because I was thinking it was more of like a borderline Crocodile Dundee. When it
this
seemed
is
like he
bullshit,
was going to
guys.
be
This is
pulling a knife.
bullshit.
No, not that knife.
Get out of here, Dan. Get
Farmer
out of here,
Dan was pulling an Australian accent.
Open
My
the
God.
door. Okay, you want to hear how this is done? Here's how it's done. 3, 2, 1. Are your buns whittle? Are they itchy? Then reach for Whittle Bear's Whittle Bear Buns Cream. Available in the Buns Cream aisle of your local pharmacy. Now that's buns with weave. Okay.
I'm sorry. Wisp, were you doing your Charles
Did they bring
Bronson
the
with a
Oscar?
speech impediment voice?
No,
there?
I was not. Oh, fuck you, Geoff. You do it. You do it better. I would like to see. Actually, that's perfect, Geoff. I would like to hear you do it as Charles Bronson with a speech impediment.
Oh, I think that could be easily done. Are your buns whittle? Are they itchy? Then reach for Whittle Bear's Whittle Bear Buns Cream. Available in the Buns Cream aisle, boyo, of your local pharmacy. Now that's buns with weef.
I gotta say that was pretty good.
I mean, it felt pretty good.
I hate how good that was.
I mean, Triscopher, what do you think? I mean, I think we're both kind of nailing it here.
I mean,
what do you think, Triscopher?
Here's the thing. I think we're sort of identifying through this process. It's like a process of elimination, you know? So we sort of go like, is the process, is the weak link of the Hawk, you know, voice team, is it Art?
Beep, 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 back up,
Is it-
squeeze me, baking
no,
powder. What now?
Is it Farmer Dan? No, Farmer Dan's a natural.
What,
is it Geoff the Angry Man Garlock? I think ultimately Geoff the Angry Man Garlock has unleashed Geoff the Angry VO artist Garlock.
Wow.
And I love that for him.
I'm loving
I think
this
what
for
we're
me as
learning
well.
is that Wisp, there's just something so pushed about what you're doing. There's just there's like a neediness to it. There's just a like, I just want this to go so well, you know? And I just think like you are going to ultimately have to figure out who Wisp is before you can do this, because there's just something so big. It's so like announcery and just so sort of kind of dated.
True. You know, I hate to say this. It does sound needy. Needy is definitely the big word I'm hearing as well. Just
that is. It
it's
feels
like sucking
needy,
at a
feels needy.
teat there.
But you know what? You know what, guys? At the end, you're named after a cracker.
Oh, boy.
Mellencamp Hawk.
Hey y'all, it's Big Truck, inviting you down to a Hawkcast this Friday from 3 until 6 for that dinner time rush at Uncle Petruchio's. That's right, Uncle Petruchio's, the only place in Val Verde where they got helium in their meats. They didn't want to admit it for a long time, then it came out, and everyone's good with it because it's a delightful taste and a tickle on your senses. Toot toot. Uncle Petruchio's gonna be there crying, because he still wishes it was a damn secret. But if you want him to sign your tomahawk chop steak or your big old thing of spaghetti and meatballs flying above your head, he'll sign it for you right there at the 108.9 The Hawk table in front of Uncle Petruchio's. We may have some koozies or some t-shirts to give out. And of course, if you want to see me, that's where I'm going to be. Big Truck, live from Uncle Petruchio's this Friday for 108.9 The Hawkcast. Toot toot.
He's a Chicago medical examiner who every week has to solve a new case using a secret skill only he knows. He's also dead. Powers Booth in the hit 80s show Diagnosed with Death. Or it's a made-for-TV movie starring Meredith Baxter Birney as a put-upon wife trying to save her marriage and her family without letting them know she's dying. In the originally on Lifetime, Diagnosed with Death. Or maybe it's a documentary, maybe by Errol Morris, and there's a lot of people looking at cameras talking about how Americans aren't comfortable with the concept of death. Or it's a heavily edited version of a Faces of Death ripoff called Diagnosed with Death. Look, either way, we bought all these movies from this production company that was going under, and we got them cheap. I just saw the title before I even started making the promo, so I'm just guessing here. But either way, Wednesday night you should watch Diagnosed with Death on Channel 8, your home for great shit.
The reason I listen to the Hawk is because I need something on in the background when I'm working on my night moves in my 60 Chevy.
108.9 The Hawk.
Hey, Hey there, you in the front row with the glasses. I want you. It's Martha Hoople and all the young dudes. I was at the recording session for that with David Bowie, and he kept turning to me, and he was like, this band's not very good, are they? And I'm like, well, they should have broken up. And he's like, I'm trying to keep them from not breaking up. And I'm like, you sure about that? Are you sure about that?
I want to keep using the songs.
I want to keep using me songs. But in the end, Martha Hoople's still one of the greatest bands in the world. I was partying with Ian Hunter just last week. Ian, if you're listening, you are a party dog, and it's really good to hang out with you. It's also very good to hang out here with Nabisco's own Triscopher Smith.
Wisp is still pissed off at you, buddy.
Oh, I'm not. I'm not childish. I'm not pissed off. I understand. This guy knows what he's talking about. When it comes to voices, this guy who has never voiced the trailer for Witness 2, only in stores, definitely knows what he's talking about, Geoff. And it's good to hear right here on 108.9
I'm just saying, he's the man who helped out the Micro Machines, man.
I don't like to flash that around, but yes, when he originally consulted me on that ad read for that 30-second spot was coming in at 4.5 minutes.
Oh my God.
And you were like, faster.
Yeah.
And then faster.
Yeah.
You basically whiplashed his ass. You're like, again.
Faster.
And he's like, tiny car. You're like, nope, not fast enough. You're like, again, tiny car. He's like, not fast enough. That guy's heart exploded during a read. I have heard a rumor about that. Is that true?
That had nothing to do with me.
Oh, so it is true, but it had nothing to do with
So it is true. That's, well,
I wouldn't say it exploded. I would say he had a coronary event.
Sure.
And I would say that I was seen leaving the premises
in quite a
really
rush.
Sweaty and flustered.
In quite a rush. Yeah, you were.
Almost as fast as he talked.
I had just gotten a really important phone call.
What was the who called you?
You remember? People. It was a storage unit that I have, and they said you haven't paid in 3 months, so we're going to start clearing the storage unit out.
Oh my
So
God! Storage Wars was going to be coming for you soon.
I mean, if that is true, let's call your storage people right now on 108.9 The Hawk and Valverde Storage. You're on with Triscopher Smith.
Yeah, Valverde Storage here. Who am I talking to again?
Hey, it's Whisp Turlington from the Geoff and Whisp Show, the #1 rock show in Valverde, and we're here with one of your clients who claims he got a phone call from you the day that the Micro Machines voiceover guy heart exploded right in the middle of a read.
Oh, God.
You know the name.
Is it the deadbeat Triscopher?
Oh, more, please.
Oh, my goodness.
More.
Triscopher. Yeah, I've been trying to hunt you down for over 5 years now to try to get you to clear out your 20 storage spaces. And I'm telling you, man, I'm on my last straw here, all right? I am going to be calling Barry from Storage Wars, and he's going to put on those skeleton gloves, and he's coming down here, and he's going to clear these puppies out. And I hope Brandy doesn't get a hold of these, because I know what you've got in there, buddy. And you don't want the world knowing what's in them storage units.
All right. Well, thank you for talking to us. Click. Also, another great reference, Barry from Storage Wars. It's 2025, and when people are like, what's popular on podcasts? It's definitely Barry from Storage Wars putting on his skeleton glasses.
We got to tell that guy at the storage place, you got to bring up more topical stuff like Witness 2.
So
the things that the kids care about.
Okay, hit me, Tristan.
What I'm learning is you do understand more about Gen Z than I thought, because you're right. They do.
Yeah,
love
it's all I
Storage
know.
Wars. That really plays for them. Second of all, does the word exonerated mean anything to anybody? Because you guys accuse me on the air when I'm here trying to help you of killing the Micro Machines guy through sort of like a Whiplash or Amadeus kind of.
I'm just going off of what I saw on TMZ.
Such a furor for excellence that he died.
Wow.
When actually,
that really backfired on me.
I was being called by a guy from the storage place
for being a deadbeat from this. That's God. That really.
Well, I've offered him multiple times to pay him in the form of VO coaching, because they don't even they're not even up on the air in terms of advertising for their storage units.
I mean, that's the guy who does the ads, and I mean, he has a very indeterminate accent. And it really
I have no idea where this
it was
guy
like sometimes he was from Southie, sometimes he might have been from Deep Jersey. I didn't know what was going on. Maybe he does need your help. My God.
Oh, well, Triscopher, I gotta say, in the end, I've learned a lot.
Oh my God.
And I'd love to just thank you for being here and teaching me what you know. So much of what you know that's now in me. But also, I almost want to impart a lesson to you, Triscopher.
Oh, boy.
I'm always learning. There's always more to learn.
And that's lesson number 1.
There we go. Yep. Triscopher, it was nice working with you. You're a wonderful man. I'm sorry.
Thank you, Geoff. I really appreciate that.
You don't teach Whisp Turlington. You learn from Whisp Turlington. Does that make sense? Does that make sense in your little mind there, Triscopher?
I mean, I like to think of it as an exchange. I like to think of it as,
it was an exchange. I've got an exchange. Oh, yeah. Here's an exchange for you.
Oh, boy. Well, have a good life.
Drones, 46 through 2,323.
Whoa, boy. Yeesh.
Are you active?
Affirmative.
Drones 46 through 2,326.
Attack him with no mercy!
Oh, no!
Oh, my God. Hey, I forgot to say, today's show brought to you by the really great people over at Jugs Mug Emporium. If you need a drug...
if you need a drug.
I said a drug.
My God. We might need some VO
drug.
coaching here, the way we're talking.
If I could find a good VO coach somewhere, that would be tremendous.
That'd be amazing. If someone could send one over, and we've never met one.
If only. Hey, coming up in the next hour, speaking of Jeff Lynne, he's here to tell us why he's fucking done with ELO and why he's so happy to be out of that goddamn shadow. That's coming up in the next hour right here on the Jeff and Wisp Show. But right now, Jeff, oh, sweet God, great googly, oh, my God, it's all the young dudes again on 108.9 The Hawk.
I
genuinely
Pierson. Didn't know thank you.
He's dead.
You've never been killed. You've never been killed by Wisp on that show. And I got to tell you, Wisp hasn't killed in a while. So this is a whole new...
You brought out murder.
This may have broken him. This may have broken him into being a much more terrible Wisp again. It happens. It does happen. DC, we love you. Welcome back to the show, man. What's going on? What's going on in your world, man? What's going on? How's New York?
It's great.
You getting down to the cellar a lot? You getting down to the cellar?
Yeah, totally.
You hitting the stand?
I hit the stand, yeah, and I just get up on stage and I just only talk about, like, even though, I'm one of these conservative comedians where it's like, even though they're just couldn't be winning hard, their side couldn't be winning harder right now, it's like,
oh my God,
still so mad, and I still haven't written a joke in like 10 years.
So angry.
And you use that anger to bang on the old creek in the cave building.
That's
just be like,
oh my God,
I'm an alternative conservative comedian.
Open up. Open up.
Oh my God.
We all miss 3-hour open mics. You know, we all miss.
Oh, like, why does this open mic smell like burrito?
Oh my God.
Weird.
It's disgusting.
I got to say, one cool thing is the last time I was in New York, I did get to go to the new UCB, which is pretty cool.
Yes.
What is that on?
14th Street, 14th between 2nd and 3rd. And it's great. It's so fun. I've done ASCAT there, and it's neat. It just feels like UCB, but also it's like leveled up enough, but also still believably UCB-ish. You know what I mean? Like it's not like when you go to the bathroom backstage, the toilet is in the supply closet with all the janitorial stuff, and it feels like one of those toilets where you're like, a toilet shouldn't be here. So that's like it's really the right balance for where I would like to be. And no, it's great. It's so good. It's genuinely like it feels really good. I feel like it's gaining momentum, and it feels exciting.
That's good. Every time I would use the bathroom at UCB Chelsea, and before a show, I would shut the door behind me. I would lock it, but then I would also think, there's a good chance I'm not getting out of here.
Oh, yeah.
There's a good chance I'm not performing tonight.
Oh, yeah.
And there's also a good chance that this toilet's going to just fill this entire chamber with water while I'm in
here.
Always
worried about overflowing that thing while I stared at John Gemberling's dad's art on the walls. Oh, yeah. That building's not there, and that toilet's still running somehow.
Oh, it's still just spraying water into that. What, did they build a condo there? Or
like, it does feel like we're missing, like your mention of Gemberling's dad. It's like, genuinely, we do need a couple of like people's cool bohemian dads to be around the theater. So if you do have, like, if you grew up in New York and you have like a cool like art dad, like, bring him around. He doesn't have to do anything.
I mean, sadly, DC, give it just a couple of years, and that's just us.
That's me.
Yeah, that's just
honestly. That's a good point.
A couple years?
Yeah, I know. Point. Actually, what am I talking about? Now, we are the dads hanging around.
I've heard.
So you're saying we're cool, Geoff?
Yeah, 100%. It's finally, it's
cool.
working.
Time to fucking paint some bathrooms,
oh man,
fellas.
I can't wait to paint some bathrooms.
Love to.
DC, we've talked classic rock on here before. I'm just going to ask the general question: what you listening to these days?
Jason, I almost DM'd you about this earlier. This is just an interesting. I'm listening to. I just started listening to a girl group box set called Girl Group Sounds Lost and Found that I'm enjoying.
Oh,
and that led to an interesting fact that I almost DM'd you about that maybe you already know. There's a Carole King song on there called like Bad Boy or something like that. And I was listening to it. I was playing at dinner tonight, and I suddenly realized, wait a minute, this is Pocahontas by Neil Young. The vocal line is super similar of like the verse. And it's the same. And then I like looked it up, and there's a couple of mentions of it online, and somebody was even drawing the parallel of like it's Neil making a point about like stolen, like the fact that like white people stole from Native Americans or something. But I was also just like, it could just be a coincidence. I genuinely don't know. There wasn't a ton of stuff about it, but I want to read more about it because not the chorus, but the verse is
okay. Let's listen for a second. Let's listen because I got to hear this. All right, Carol.
Mama doesn't like him 'cause he never cuts his hair.
Oh my God.
Daddy doesn't like him 'cause he says he early swear. He's a bad boy.
Are we sure it's not just a doobie bounce situation? Like Pocahontas was just such a hot hit that they needed to make more versions.
No, this is clearly before Pocahontas.
Okay,
Jeff. This is so it's about.
So it's
so that's an even bigger thing. I've never known this.
Wow. I didn't know it till tonight, and when it just happened to play, and I was like, wait a minute, and I Googled it, and I was like, okay, I'm not insane.
Wow. Another thing that you and I were talking about today in DMs that made me laugh was how coked up that first Crosby, Stills, and Nash record is.
So coked up. As you guys pointed out on, it's like Steven Stills' coked up control freak, just like fixing everything within like an inch of its life. It's so fixed. It's so fixed. It's the sound of like fixation. I never noticed that before. I'd listened to it a million times. My dad always used to listen to it. Yeah.
And he said that one point in Sweet Judy Blue Eyes that we talk about and we joke about so much right here on the Hawk, where Steven Stills thought it was a good idea to put in the parts in the do. That's cocaine, man. That probably wasn't even
the
still.
Mr. Hanky. The Mr. Hanky.
Yes. The Steven Stills is like, hey, fellas, I got a character that I came up with called Mr. Hanky. You know, I ain't going to use it. I'm probably going to give it away in the 90s to some young upstarts. But until then, Mr.
Young Steven Stills, Colorado.
There you go.
Oh, look at this.
Oh my God, we're figuring it all
cool dads,
out.
The cool bohemian
dads.
Yeah,
man, this is exactly, truly. The kids will love to hear that. I will say, yeah, like the other day I was in a record store, and there was these two young kids at the record player next to me. I was listening to a bunch of records, and I felt very like, oh no, am I old man explaining things? because they had a big pile, but they didn't know how to turn the record player on.
Been there.
And then they wanted to listen to, they go, let's listen to the City Pop record first. But it was just an Outlaws record, but with an Obi strip on it, because there was clearly a Japan press. And I could hear them going like, it doesn't really sound as much like City Pop stuff. And I was like, I'm sorry.
Wait, the Outlaws?
Yeah, it was the Outlaws. And I was like, I'm sorry, that's the Outlaws. They're like a Southern rock band with 3 guitars. I saw them when I was like 12. Yeah, and they were like sitting there going, this doesn't sound like most City Pop I've heard. And I appreciate it.
It's the sound of upwardly mobile Tokyo in the 80s.
Yeah, it's amazing that they knew City Pop. But they had no idea like that, and they were like really trying to wrap their brains around. But then after, I was like,
that's
man,
so sweet.
I really record-splained them too much.
I know, what a trade-off. The trade-off
You're
of being
like,
I just have info that I need to impart onto the world.
I feel it. I feel it every day.
You're like, hey kids, have you ever heard of a little group called the Doobie Brothers?
I mean, I was sitting there with a Tony Williams Lifetime record. I was like, would you want to listen to some Fusion? And this Ultravox record's really good. You should try this too.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus.
You kids ever fade to gray? You kids ever fade to gray? Sorry.
I loved that fucking video in when I was young, when that was on MTV, and they're all just like
the
skeletons.
I know.
I will get by.
It's so cool that Bob Dylan came by to sing that song with them.
I will. Yeah, Timothy Chalamet sang that in
oh man, I loved when he was on SNL and he did his cover of Return to Gray or whatever the fuck that song.
And I loved that Edward Norton was on the side of the stage at 8H, just like, oh, they're not gonna.
I'm sure I'm gonna enjoy the movie. You said you enjoyed it, but in the commercials, he looks like he's in an SNL skit. And I'm emphasizing skit, not sketch.
Yeah, all those SNL skits where where Lauren's like, I would like to see something about Pete Seeger, please.
Why not now about Pete Seeger?
DC, we love you. Anything to plug? Anything going on, man?
Just you can follow me on all the relevant, horribly morally compromised social media outlets, except
Twitter,
for X,
Stormfront.
Yeah, exactly. I'm on. Instagram at DEECEE Pierson. I've been putting up videos on there, TikTok videos. I do this character called the Architect Who Designed New York. I was
gonna say I love Architect Who Designed New York.
So fucking funny.
And that's about it. And then other than that, just plugging away, but nothing people can super engage with at the moment.
Yeah. Blue Sky. You're on Blue Sky. Blue Sky's fun, man. I enjoy Blue Sky.
DCPearson.bsky.social.
Yeah.
You can just search me on there, I think, or just search DC Pierson. Blue Sky will come up. I have fun. That's where I do what I used to do on Twitter, which is
jokes,
posting dumb jokes,
jokes. That's what Blue Sky is for.
Was jokes.
So, you guys remember when it was jokes?
Here we go, Bohemian Dads again.
108.9 The Hawk with Jason Gore and Geoff Garlock.
A comedy podcast about a fictional classic rock radio station.
Hear and see new episodes every Monday. Subscribe on YouTube,
Apple Podcasts,
Spotify,
Pocket Casts,
Overcast, and wherever you get your podcasts. Support the show by going to patreon.com/1089 The Hawk. Get video and audio episodes 1 week early. Bonus shows, and so much more. Get that merch by going to our website at 1089thehawk.com. And if you like what you heard in this episode, you can check out a ton of 108.9 The Hawk episodes on our website at 1089thehawk.com or wherever you get your podcasts. A comedy podcast about a fictional classic rock radio station. 108.9 The Hawk with Jason Gore and Geoff Garlock.